Good morning and welcome to New Hanover County Schools The Morning Show. I'm Louis Behar.
And I'm Marley Hughes. This is the week of February 22nd through February 28th.
We have a superb show today. We have a superb show in store for you today, and we'll entertain and educate you all.
And high school students interested in computers should pay extra special attention to our Career Technical Highlight, which takes an in-depth look at the computer engineering program.
In our newly popular and always interesting segment of Science Nation, we journey to Mount St. Helens and see how the life is returning after the volcano's massive eruption.
And we take a look ahead to see the top events across the state planned during the month of March in our fantastic segment, NC Happenings.
It is going to be another great show, but first let's check with our news anchor, Justin Hackling, who is standing by with your school news headlines. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning, Louis and Marley, and welcome everyone to your school news here on The Morning Show. Topping the headlines this week, kindergarten registration begins in March. New Hanover County Schools part of a pilot program for seatbelts on school buses. High school students selected for Eastern District Band. I will have all of those stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Justin. We get things going today with a staple here on The Morning Show with a segment we call This Week in History. Our Grandmaster of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from the past times. This Week in History brought to you by Kidsville News.
Welcome to This Week in History. I'm your historical host, Jacob Triepstra, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week of February 22nd through February 28th. February 22nd, 1980. In one of the most dramatic upsets in Olympic history, the underdog U.S. hockey team, made up of college players, defeats the four-time defending gold medal winning Soviet team. The Soviet squad, regarded as the finest in the world, fell to the youthful American team 4-3. February 23rd, 1954, a group of children from Arsenal Elementary School in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, received the first injections of the new polio vaccine developed by Dr. Jonas Salk. Over the next few years, the number of polio cases dropped from over 38,000 to under 1,000. February 24th, 1836, Texan Colonel William Travis sends a desperate plea for help for the besieged defenders of the Alamo, ending the message with the famous last words, "Victory or death." Unfortunately, it was to be death for the Alamo defenders when the Mexican army stormed the Alamo on March 6th, and Travis and about 190 of his comrades were killed. February 25th, 1862, the U.S. Congress passes the Legal Tender Act, authorizing the use of paper notes to pay the government's bills. This ended the long-standing policy of using only gold or silver in transactions, and allowed the government to finance the enormously costly Civil War long after its gold and silver reserves were depleted. February 26, 1993, a bomb explodes in the parking garage beneath the World Trade Center in New York City on this day. 6 people died and 1,000 were injured by the powerful blast, which also caused the evacuation of thousands of people from the Twin Towers. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. February 27th, 1980, I Will Survive wins the first and last Grammy ever awarded for Best Disco Recording. The National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences gave disco a Grammy Award for Best Disco Recording. However, the category was removed the next year. February 28th, 2013, 85-year-old Pope Benedict XVI officially resigns, citing advanced age as the reason for giving up his post as the leader of the 1.2 billion members Roman Catholic Church. Benedict was the first pontiff to relinquish power in nearly 600 years. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. I'm Jacob Triepstra. Thanks for stopping by.
This Week in History is brought to you by Kidsville News, a fun and effective learning resource for children, teachers, and parents. Kidsville News is always free. Copies are delivered every month to every elementary school in the New Hanover County school system.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up This Week in History.
We have plenty more ahead on the morning show, including the Zoo Files and our Super Civic segment, Bell Ringers.
Don't go away. We'll be right back after this short break.
Free throws, slam dunks, and fast breaks. High school basketball season is in full swing. I'm Joe Catanacci. Join me each week for the basketball edition of Sports Roundtable. We feature the area's most in-depth look at all the county's girls and boys varsity basketball action. Each week, you get a first-hand account on the defensive and offensive strategies from the New Hanover County Schools head basketball coaches. The Sports Roundtable, Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. right here on the Learning Network. Sports Roundtable is made possible with the support of Papa John's Pizza, the Wilmington International Airport, Subway, and PortCityDaily.com.
What state am I?
The Great Basin and Colorado Plateau lie here. One of the natural wonders of the world lies in my state. My nickname is the Beehive State. Do you know who I am? If you guessed Utah, you're right. I received statehood in 1896.
This United States factoid has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't, because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Louis Behar.
And I'm Marley Hughes.
The mission of Career Technical Education to help empower students for effective participation in an international economy as world-class workers and citizens. They have a wide range of programs offered to both middle and high school students.
Today, we take an in-depth look at one of those programs. We traveled to Hoggard High School and learned about the computer engineering program.
We teach computer engineering technology in this classroom. We have two levels. Level 1 deals mainly with hardware and a lot of theory and quite a bit of hands-on applications. And then in Level 2, we deal more with software, mainly Windows 7 and Windows 8, some Windows Server processes, and also Linux distribution of Ubuntu. CET1, the only prerequisite is to be at least in the 10th grade. I highly recommend that you've completed Algebra 1 because we do use a lot of math in the class, and also Biology 1 is going to be helpful because there's quite a bit of critical thinking skills that are involved in the classroom. Once you get through Level 1, you can move on to Level 2, where even more critical thinking skills are used, especially problem solving. And also this will prep you, Level 1 and Level 2 will prep you for taking the Cisco Academy networking classes. In Level 1, we use a QTL website, and it has all the information there as you go through about 32 sections with small quizzes after each section to make sure the students comprehend the material. You start out basically mastering safety, because you're dealing with electricity and dangerous, sometimes dangerous chemicals or equipment, and then you move on to how all the parts of the computer work and then how they all talk to each other. Also through the process, you have a class assignment where you have to build a computer from scratch. Not actually, but you have to piece out and price each part to meet a customer's design for a gaming computer. That counts for 20% of your 9 weeks grade. After you've gone through that part, you'll start getting into some programs in level 1, but nothing like you'll get into level 2. When you get into level 2, it's mainly dealing with software. You should already have the base knowledge of how all the hardware works. So you start getting into software and how the software interacts with the hardware, with a big emphasis on Windows 7 and now Windows 8 that we have out. We have lab computers here we've set up and built, and we have operating systems on all of them, and it's completely unrestricted like our school computers are. There's nothing locked down. It's pretty much free reign. The only thing is we can't put these on the school network. In the level 2 class, they're given a project of they have to do a oral and a visual presentation on a technology subject that they choose. It's given in the second 9 weeks. They have approximately 5 to 6 weeks to work on this project. And a lot of times it's getting them prepped, especially for their senior project when they have to get up in front of people and talk. The guidelines are quite liberal. They just need to get up and talk about some technology-related subject that they choose and be able to answer questions afterwards. At times it's pretty interesting because they come up with some really great topics they talk about.
Well, I think one of my most favorite things we did was at the beginning of the semester was when we actually built the computers that we now work with. I really enjoyed that because it was more hands-on. We actually got to work and actually go in and see everything come together, and then if it was messed up, then we had to go back and fix it, but most of them turned out great. So I really enjoyed that because it was more of a hands-on thing. So.
CET1 and CET2 are also a great prep for students that would be interested in getting their A+ certification, an industry standard. A lot of the students that will take this course that are interested in computer technology will find it beneficial when they get into either computer repair and upgrade, if they just want to tweak their own system at home, if they decide to get involved in computer programming or computer engineering and design systems. These two classes are a very strong foundation for getting into those careers in higher education levels.
CET1 was really good because it kind of gives you a general grasp of everything, and it helps you understand more of the internal work of it all. And then CET2 we had more hands-on. We built our own computers and then redid network cables, which is it's a fun time to do. But it was in general, it's a lot of fun, and it's enjoyable if you like the technology of it all.
If someone was interested in taking the class, I would tell them to go for it because it definitely helps you not only like with school, and it definitely gives you a better view on like the different amount of work that you can do for different classes, but it'll definitely help you at home whenever you use a computer because you learn things like if something breaks on your computer, you could probably figure out what happened and what you could do to fix it.
By the time I get to having the level 2 students like I have in here now, it's a very tight group of students that work together. A lot of free thinking goes on, a lot of expressing different ideas and stuff, and it's a much more conducive environment to learning and also finding out the applications that can be used in the real world, and also the interactions of people.
Well, it doesn't have a lot of people, so it's easier to get focused. It's easier to kind of connect with everyone and make great friends and everything like that, as well as learning the information and everything. It's not hard, but it does require a lot more of you remembering, what is what, the acronyms and all kinds of things like that. It's just generally it's a lot of fun for anyone who loves technology or anything.
If a student's interested in this program, they can get more information either by going to the CTE teacher or the guidance counselors, and they would give them excellent recommendations if they're prepared to take this class. It's not an easy class, but you'll learn a lot.
If you would like to learn more about the Microsoft Academy program or any of the New Hanover County Schools CTE programs, visit the website at www.nhcs.net/workforce or call their office at 254-4241.
All right. It's time now to send it over to the news desk for more Your School News and our news anchor, Justin Hackling, who is standing by. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning, and welcome to Your School News on the Morning Show. I'm Justin Hackling. Topping our newscast this week is kindergarten registration. It's time once again for kindergarten registration. YSN reporter Kathy Kale brings us all the details on what parents need and need to know to get their children registered for kindergarten in the New Hanover County.
New Hanover County Schools will hold kindergarten registration from March 1st through the 18th. Kindergartners must be registered at the school within their residence attendance area. Attendance areas may be verified by contacting Student Support Services at 251-2929. Children to be registered must be 5 years of age on or before August the 31st, 2016. It is not necessary to bring your child to the school for registration. The registration will take approximately 15 minutes. To enroll a child in kindergarten, parents must present the following: proof of residence, a copy of a lease, deed, property tax, or homeowner's insurance policy will do. Utility bills will not be accepted. The child's birth certificate, a certified original, will also need to be presented. Certified birth certificates may be obtained by writing or calling the Vital Records branch in Raleigh or by visiting the Vital Records branch at 225 North McDowell Street. They may also be obtained from the Register of Deeds office in the county of the child's birth. Parents will be required to bring a health assessment report showing a physical examination, vision screening, and hearing screening. Finally, an immunization record showing the child has received the required immunizations will need to be presented. North Carolina state law requires all the following immunizations on the screen for all children enrolling in the kindergarten or first grade for the first time. For more information on the kindergarten registration, you can call Denise Angevine, Enrollment Specialist, at 910-251-2929, or Leanne Groves in Student Support at 910-254-4292. Reporting for your school news, this is Kathy Kale.
New Hanover County Schools will get 5 new school buses equipped with seatbelts as a part of the state pilot program in the summer of 2016. New studies have shown that lap shoulder belts enhance safety and help improve student discipline. According to North Carolina Department of Public Instruction Transportation Services, seatbelts have been available on school buses for several years, but the additional costs have made it prohibitive to add them. The new buses cost $93,000 each instead of $83,000 for a regular bus without seatbelts. The goal of the pilot program is to begin gathering real-world experiences for the state transportation services. New Hanover County Schools is among several other North Carolina school districts that volunteered to participate in the pilot program. The wonders of weather came to life for the students at Sunset Park Elementary. A member of the Cape Fear Museum's outreach program came to the school to teach a class of second graders all about temperature, precipitation, and wind through engaging activities, hands-on experiments, and interactive demonstrations. The budding meteorologists conducted water temperature experiments using different measuring techniques and explored how a thermometer works. The outreach teacher from the museum helped them explore how wind is described and measured. They examined different types of meters used in wind measurement and showed how each one functioned. Students even got a chance to stimulate tornado formation using tornado tubes. One of the coolest things of the day was the creation of a rain shower right in their very own classroom. It was a great lesson as students learned the components of the water cycle and had the chance to take part in an interactive demonstration on how lightning and thunder are created. For all of the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. here on Time Warner Cable Channel 5 and Charter Cable 191 for your school news, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our hosts.
Thanks, Justin. In addition to watching your school news and the morning show, you can see many of NHCS TV's programming online.
Just go to the school system website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV logo right there on the front page.
You can watch great programs there like the Sports Roundtable, The Forum, and Up Front with the Superintendent.
It's an excellent way to watch our program whenever you want.
Shifting gears now, we have everyone's favorite segment from the North Carolina Zoo at Asheboro. The Zoo Files tells us about different animals, exhibits, and happenings at the zoo.
Modern science is having a big impact on the way at North Carolina Zoo cares for its animals. Rod Hackney takes us behind the scenes to show us an example of in his Zoo Files.
Over the years here on the Zoo Files, we've shown the variety of ways and the tremendous impact that technology and modern science are having in providing care for the animals here at the North Carolina Zoo. Recently, the zoo's southern white rhinos, Earth's second largest land animal, became the beneficiary of advances in artificial insemination, or AI. Zoo Senior Staff Veterinarian Ryan DeVoe tells us how high-tech may someday help save this threatened species.
In the wild, southern white rhinos are actually considered threatened. North American captive populations of white rhinos are in fair shape, though we don't have quite as much reproduction as we would like. They're difficult to breed in captivity, for one, because they're big and they take up a lot of space and resources. They seem to do best when they're given lots of space. They're more motivated breeders when they have competition to work against. The group of German scientists that came to help us out, it's a group of veterinarians from the university in Berlin. They actually specialize in reproduction of all wildlife with a focus on pachyderms, and they're very well known and respected throughout the world for the work they've done, especially with elephants and rhinoceroses. They've pioneered many of the techniques with artificial insemination. The first visit that the German team made was simply to assess the animals we have here for their reproductive capabilities. The surprise that we found was that our bull that we hold is not a good breeder. So we collected semen from other rhinos at other facilities and brought it in to inseminate our animals here.
While artificial insemination for exotic animals remains a fledgling science, it still provides one of the best hopes for retaining captive populations of rhinos in American zoos. If you'd like to learn more, please check out our website at nczoo.org. Reporting for the Zoo Files, I'm Rod Hackney, connecting your life to wildlife.
The North Carolina Zoo near Asheboro is open year-round. For information, call 1-800-488-0444 or visit the zoo website at www.nczoo.org.
That was another excellent edition of the Zoo Files. Thank you, Rod.
From zoo news to science news, we are thrilled to bring you the National Science Foundation's online magazine, Science Nation.
In this feature, they examine the breakthroughs and possibilities for new discoveries about our planet, our universe, and ourselves.
Each week, Science Nation takes a dynamic, entertaining look at the research and the researchers that will change our lives.
When Mount St. Helens blew its top in 1980, it wasn't a surprise that it happened, but even today, the extent of the damage is hard to fathom.
It began with the largest landslide in recorded history that uncorked an explosion that was directed horizontally and leveled the forest to 13 miles out from the volcano.
It knocked down 100-foot trees like matchsticks and killed just about everything in its path.
It was just a barren landscape, gray and pumice-colored, covered with rocks.
Ever since, the mountain has hardly been quiet, with several smaller eruptions. But of course, nothing like what happened here in 1980. Dead tree trunks still litter the landscape, but look closely. Something else is erupting here: life.
It's a rare opportunity for scientists to get to study a devastated area and how it comes back from scratch in such detail.
With help from the National Science Foundation, evolutionary biologist John Bishop is documenting the return of living things to the once lifeless mountain.
Up until the last 10 years, the landscape has been completely dominated by lupin.
Bishop says these flowering lupin plants are able to create new soil from volcanic ash. That new soil has created a habitat for the Sitka willow. But there's a problem.
One of the things we've realized about these willows is that they're not getting big. And that's important because they create habitat for birds and mammals. So you can see you get a whole bunch of these inside and they're going to kill the stem.
These weevils are an invasive species and they're on the attack, taking up residence inside the willow stems, stunting their growth or killing them.
Seemingly insignificant organisms like insects that consume plants play play an extraordinarily important role in the sorting out process of deciding essentially which plants are going to stay in the landscape and which ones are going to disappear.
Bishop says plants and insects will battle back and forth here for centuries. It's how nature balances out the ecosystem, until the day Mount St. Helens changes the equation once again. For Science Nation, I'm Miles O'Brien.
That was another great segment from the National Science Foundation.
It's neat to see how our life is growing back after such a powerful volcano.
I know, though seeing how those tiny insects can affect the growth of trees was a little disturbing.
It's all about how nature works.
I guess.
Now, as we head to our break, we have a word of the week.
Each week, we highlight an advanced English word. So if you like having an extensive vocabulary and impressive, try learning our word of the week.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi. You mean you were driving? Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
I want to see the world.
When you pick up a book,
I used to read every night to all the younger kids,
and let your imagination break free, you won't believe how much fun it can be.
let down your house.
Experience a world of adventure, excitement, and endless possibilities. Get tangled up in a good book. Explore new worlds. Read. Visit read.gov today.
Welcome back to the morning show.
Each month, we poll students on their thoughts from a host of questions. These questions range from local to national current events to topics that are just for fun. We feature their answers in a segment we call Student Voices.
This month, we traveled to Williston Middle School and asked students what their favorite elective and why. Here's what they had to say.
My favorite elective is band because we get to play our instruments, and this is my first year, so it's kind of interesting, and she teaches us a lot of songs and the notes.
Spanish because it teaches you in the future, like jobs, but it's just a better, it's just something you can put on your resume, and it just helps you get farther in life.
My favorite elective is art because I love drawing a lot, and drawing gives me inspiration to write my story, which I'm currently doing. And I've always liked drawing ever since I was born.
My favorite elective it's probably band because I think it's like the best just group of kids in the school out of all the other electives. It's one of the only ones that I find that I would specifically want to do is I like playing an instrument.
Well, it would be band because I play trumpet, and it's been really fun for me because I've gotten to go on a lot of trips and competitions and stuff of that nature.
Well, I'd say my favorite elective is chorus because it's fun, it's a nice teacher, something I enjoy doing.
My favorite elective is orchestra because since I really like classical music, I really like listening and I enjoy playing the violin.
My favorite elective is PE because it gives us a chance to be fit and I guess just to get more into shape than what we was.
My favorite elective is probably art because there's a really cool teacher and it allows us to express ourselves with really awesome projects.
Thank you, Williston Middle School and Principal Ronald Villines. Lewis, what's your favorite elective?
Probably have to say gym. How about yours?
Art. All right, it's time now for this week's lunch menu. This is the menu for Monday, February 22nd through Monday, February 29th.
On Monday, February 22nd, make haste to the lunch line for chicken nuggets with rice and gravy, a fish fillet sandwich, or a hot dog with chili. Don't forget to add macaroni salad, sweet potato waffle fries, and diced pears to your plate to make a fantastic meal.
Then, on Tuesday, February 23rd, refill your body and soul with chicken and waffles, Salisbury steak with a biscuit, or buffalo chicken pizza. Also, be sure to add red skin mashed potatoes with gravy, California vegetables, and a fresh fruit onto your plate for a belly-filling meal.
On Wednesday, February 24th, satisfy your appetite at lunch with chicken and cheese soup with crackers and a roll, corn dog nuggets, or a bacon cheeseburger. Along with those tasty treats, enjoy glazed carrots and spiced apples.
On Thursday, February 25th, have a nice school-cooked meal of beef roni with a breadstick, a chicken fajita with Spanish rice, or a chicken fillet sandwich. Either way, be sure to add Great Northern beans, incredible veggie sticks, and fresh fruit to your plate.
Then, on Friday, February 26th, energize yourself with popcorn chicken with a roll, a meatball hoagie, or a pork chop sandwich. To wrap up the meal, there are sides with creamy macaroni and cheese, tasty broccoli with cheese, and absolutely appley applesauce.
Finally, on Monday, February 29th, leap to the lunch line on Leap Day for a chicken parmesan sandwich, a beef taco with Spanish rice, or a chicken cheesesteak. Round the meal out with barbecue pinto beans and a frozen fruit cup.
And there you have the lunch menu for the week. In addition to those items, milk, a garden salad, French bread pizza, and a peanut butter and jelly combo will be available daily.
So many delicious choices. Don't forget, you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school. Bell Ringers is our next segment this morning, and it's from the C-SPAN classroom. This series features a biography of each of our country's presidents. Beginning with our first show of the school year, we started with our first president, George Washington. Each week, we will feature the next president until we cover them all and bring the series to a close this summer. Enjoy learning about the people who have led our country in this riveting series. Here's this week's episode of Bell Ringers.
On March 4, 1889, during an unremitting rainstorm, Grover Cleveland held an umbrella over Benjamin Harrison's head as they drove together in an open carriage on the way to the Capitol. Once there, Harrison was sworn in as the 23rd President of the United States. He had attained a majority of the electoral votes, 233 to Cleveland's 168, but only a minority of popular votes. Harrison was counted among the best orators of his day. During the campaign, when he lived in Indianapolis, citizens used to march down Delaware Street and congregate on his front lawn in order to hear him speak, usually extemporaneously from the front porch of his house. But he disliked small talk, and during intimate social gatherings appeared aloof. His political opponents proclaimed him a cold fish and said his handshake was like a wilted petunia. He began each day early with morning prayer. He often worked late, but when he had time, he enjoyed playing with his grandchildren on the lawn of the White House or taking walks around Washington. He also made a point of escaping the city every once in a while to indulge in his favorite pastimes, hunting and fishing. Public opinion turned against Harrison in 1890 when he supported the McKinley Tariff Act. The result of the passage of this law was a marked increase in consumer prices and may have been one of the reasons Harrison was not re-elected in 1892. Harrison was once quoted as saying, "There's a great sense of loneliness in the discharge of high public duties. The moment of decision is one of isolation." Harrison was born into a family devoted to public service on August 20th, 1833, in North Bend, Ohio. His father, John, was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. His grandfather, William Henry Harrison, was the 9th President of the United States. And his great-grandfather, Benjamin Harrison V, was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Harrison became actively involved in government beginning around 1854. A supporter of potential presidential candidates such as John C. Fremont, his involvement continued even during his service in the Civil War. Although he was a respected brigadier general, he disliked military life. "I am not a Julius Caesar nor a Napoleon," he wrote, "but a plain Hoosier colonel with no more relish for a fight than for a good breakfast, and hardly so much." After the war, Harrison took up practicing law again, and his enthusiasm for politics continued. In January of 1881, he was elected as a Republican to the U.S. Senate and served one term. In February 1888, he accepted the Republican presidential nomination by saying, "I am a dead statesman, but I am a living and rejuvenated Republican." Levi Morton of New York served as his running mate. His short stature, 5'6", led cartoonists to portray him as a diminutive man with an enormous hat, a suggestion that he was incapable of filling his grandfather's role. He was among the last of the 19th century statesmen to wear a beard, and was said to have dressed fashionably. The president's personal life became newspaper fodder, and Americans everywhere were fascinated to learn that the president wore a size 6.5 shoe and frequently purchased a dozen shirts at a time for $27. He married Caroline Scott on October 20th, 1853, when he was 20 and she was 21. They began dating in their teens, and by college were devoted to each other. In fact, Harrison spent so many evenings with Carrie, as she was called, that his friends nicknamed him Pious Moonlight Dude. As First Lady, Mrs. Harrison secured appropriations from Congress to renovate the White House. She started the tradition of a White House Christmas tree, as well as decorating state receptions with orchids. She designed her own White House china, and while in the White House, brought in an instructor to teach china painting classes to family and friends. Often ill, she was diagnosed with tuberculosis during her husband's unsuccessful re-election campaign, and died on October 25, 1892. Following Caroline's death and his unsuccessful re-election bid, Harrison resumed practicing law in Indianapolis. Additionally, he wrote, lectured, and kept his hand in politics. Harrison shocked his 2 children when 3 years into his retirement, he remarried a woman almost half his age. The bride, Mary Scott Lord Dimmock, was a 37-year-old widow. She was also a niece of Caroline Harrison and had served as the First Lady's personal assistant. Harrison's children, Russell and Mary, did not attend the wedding. A year later, in 1896, a daughter, Elizabeth, was born. Not long after, the former president contracted the flu that eventually turned into pneumonia. He died in 1901 at the age of 67.
As we head into a break, we continue our focus on a wonderful country with a fun series of bumpers.
The United States has a rich, interesting history and a unique system of government. Knowing about our country is a very important part of being a good citizen.
Take our quick civics quiz and see what you know, or perhaps it will help you learn more about U.S. history and government.
Jimmy can't sing,
and Tommy can't dance.
so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww!
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Everything moves fast in racing. But when we're thirsty and in a hurry, we don't cut corners on refueling. I'm Casey Kane, asking you to make healthy decisions. Pass on the sugary stuff. Refuel with water instead. You've got a choice. Rethink your drink. Eat smart, move more. North Carolina.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marley Hughes, and my co-host is Louis Behar. It is time for NC Happenings. Everyone should get out the pen and papers as we take a trip across the state and look at all the events taking place in the coming month.
Whether you're looking for adventure or relaxation, mountains or beaches, the rhythm of city life, or the tranquility of nature, there is something happening everywhere around here in North Carolina.
Date, March 4th through 6th. Place, Lumberton. Event, Roomba on the Lumber 2016. Saturday's fun includes the largest chili cook-off in the Carolinas, an arts and craft festival, lots of free activities for kids, live country music, a family fun mile for kids of all ages, and the Roomba games. Prices vary depending on event participation. For all the details, go to ropesandroadrunners.com.
Date, March 17th. Place, Raleigh. Event, 2016 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship March Madness returns to Raleigh in 2016. PNC Arena is proud to host the first and second round of 2016 NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship. First round games will be held on March 17th, and second round games will be held on March 19th. For admission and more details, see the website ncaa.com. Cost varies for tickets.
Date, March 19th to March 20th. Place, Four Oaks. Event, 151st anniversary of the Battle of Bentonville. Visitors get a chance to see how a battery of cannons operated and worked together in the heat of the 1865 battles. Visitors can see artillery and infantry demonstrations throughout the weekend, as well as view camps and talk with interpreters about life during the Civil War. The event lasts from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Go to their website nchistories.org/BentonVI for more details.
Date, March 19th. Place, Charlotte. Event, St. Patrick's Day Parade and Charlotte Ghost Green Festival. The 20th annual parade will kick off at 9th Street and Tyrone as over 120 units march across downtown. The parade will feature pipe and drum bands, floats, Irish dancers, animals, step bands, beauty queens, community organizations, and much more. Admission is free for all ages. The event will begin at 10 a.m. and end at 6:30 p.m. If you have any questions, please call 803-802-1678.
March 26th. Place, Fontana Dam. Event, Easter egg hunt. Prizes, refreshments, and lots of eggs. Just bring a basket. Enjoy a festive Easter egg hunt on the Beaufort Historic Site and enjoy good family fun. Children aged 7 and younger are welcome and admission is free. The event will begin at 11 a.m. and end at 1 p.m. Call 252-728-5225 if you need further information.
If these events weren't enough for you, or you were looking for something different to do, then check out the website www.visitnc.com. Under the upcoming events tab, you'll be able to sort and search for something that suits your need.
It's time for more Your School News, so let's send it back over to our news anchor, Justin Hackling.
Welcome everyone to your school news here on the morning show. 33 high school band students were selected for North Carolina Band Association Eastern District Band. With a complete list of the students and the schools they represent is YSN reporter Karen Green.
Each of the 4 traditional New Hanover County high schools had band members selected for the North Carolina Band Association Eastern District High School Honors Band, totaling 33 students overall. Every year, students from 30 counties compete for a spot in one of the Eastern District High School Honors Bands. Of the 600+ students who try out, only 92 are selected for the ensemble. The high school bands traveled to Greenville, North Carolina to audition for ensembles in January. For the auditions, the students were required to learn major scales at multiple octaves, the chromatic scale for their instrument, an instrument-specific solo selected by the state of North Carolina, and finally be prepared to perform a sight-reading piece, an unknown excerpt to be played with only 1 minute of preparation. Each student performed for a set of judges who ranked them against their peers, which determined who would be selected for the honors band. The students selected for honors band from Hoggard were Dylan Whaley, Riley Hook, Emily Aiken, Jacob Hardison, and Christopher Tussari. Selected from Laney were Allison Cummings, Riley Dunwood, Laney Larkins, Christina Ficken, Garrett Bockham, Mason Cockrell, Gregory Kraft, Leroy Pridgeon, Danae Oliver, Victoria Jeffords, and Zion Perkins. 4 students from New Hanover High School were selected for honors band. They are Dawson Williams, Connor Bost, Riley Ferguson, and Bradley Terrell. Finally, in this year's All-District Honors Band from Ashley were Aiden Smith-Martin, Joseph Miller, Joseph Krupa IV, Darren Jantz, David Bowles, Caleb Price, Cade Smith-Martin, Abby Shibley, Jacob Johnson, Zachary Miller, George Mayo III, John Rena, and Jacob Merton. The selected students traveled to East Carolina University this month to rehearse with other members of the all-district bands. They then spent close to 12 hours over 2 intense days rehearsing and performed a concert in Wright Auditorium on the campus of ECU. Reporting for your school news, this is Karen Green.
Students in Miss Scordino's class at Bradley Creek Elementary were sworn in as National Park Junior Rangers in a virtual ceremony. The National Park Service's Junior Ranger program is an activity-based program conducted in parks across the nation. To become Junior Rangers, students at Bradley Creek completed a series of activities including virtual park visits and answering questions from a park ranger. Junior Rangers can also work through booklets full of activities related to the outdoors, such as exploring caves, learning about what is underwater in rivers and ponds, and even discovering the basics of paleontology. Explore, learn, and protect was the motto recited by the Bradley Creek students as they were sworn in as Junior Rangers. In addition, the students took an oath of their own to protect parks, continue to learn about parks, and share their own ranger stories with friends and family. New Hanover County Schools has announced the 27th annual edition of Best Foot Forward, which will be held Friday, March 11th at 7:30 p.m. in New Hanover High School's Brogdon Hall. Best Foot Forward features performances integrating special effects and uplifting music from pre-kindergarten, elementary, high school, middle, and high schools. Doors for the evening will open at 6:30 p.m. A visual arts exhibit highlighting works from students in all grade levels will be displayed in the lobby of Brogdon Hall. General admission tickets for the show are $10 each and are available for purchase through all participating schools. Tickets can also be purchased anytime online until 4 p.m. on March 10th or at the NHCS Administration Building, located at 6410 Carolina Beach Road, beginning Friday, February 27th. DVDs of the show can be pre-ordered through the school online, through the Public Relations Department, or on the night of the performance. Prepare now for this magical night of entertainment. That's all for now. To watch this week's edition of Your School News online, visit the school system's website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV logo on the homepage.
Thanks, Justin. Now to end today's show, we will play in a challenging trivia game that will get those brain juices flowing.
I see we have our buzzers out, so we're in for a real challenge.
We are. Let's send it back over to Justin, who has all the details. Welcome back, Justin.
Thank you. Today we have a morning show trivia challenge. I will ask a simple trivia question from a range of categories. If you think you know the answer, you must buzz. The first person to buzz gets to answer. If you blurt out an answer and answer it without buzzing or winning the buzz, it will not count. Also, if you buzz before I finish asking a question, you have to answer it then. I will not read the rest. Finally, if you are both stumped on one, I will give the answer and we will move on. There are 20 questions. Okay, contestants, are you ready? Here we go. Number 1, on a standard traffic light, is the green on the top or bottom?
It's in the bottom.
Correct. Number 2, in which hand is the Statue of Liberty's torch?
The right.
Correct. Number 3, what two numbers on a telephone dial don't have letters by them?
The pound and asterisk, or pound and number?
That is incorrect.
Oh, now I understood the question. Doesn't have letters on them?
Yes.
Which number? Oh.
0 and 3.
It is 0 and 1.
Oh,
Ew,
you know
indeed.
what? I was closer to the answers. I don't know.
I thought I was like, okay, never mind. Okay, continue. Let's
Okay.
go.
Number 4, when you walk, does your left arm swing with you, right or left leg?
It's the opposite.
That's incorrect.
Same as her, because I really don't know the answer.
The answer is left.
I didn't even understand the question.
Number 5, how many matches are in a standard pack?
26.
Close.
24.
Also close. The correct answer is 20.
Okay.
Number 6, on our flag, is the top stripe red or white?
It's red.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I see how this is.
Number 7, what is the lowest number on the FM dial?
14.
That is incorrect.
7.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer is 88.
What?
Number 8, which way does a no smoking sign run?
Diagonally right.
That is correct. Number 9, which way do fans rotate if you are looking at it?
Right.
Excuse me.
JK, I didn't answer.
It's left.
Continue.
That is incorrect.
So it's going to be right.
Correct answer is clockwise.
Oh, okay.
Number 10, whose face is on a dime?
Mine.
Wait, what?
That is incorrect.
On a dime?
Yes.
Wow.
It's Drake.
Alexander Hamilton?
The correct answer is Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Oh, okay.
Number 11, how many sides does a stop sign have?
6.
That is incorrect.
Wait, a stop sign?
Yes.
8.
Correct.
Octagon.
Number 12, do books have even number pages on the right or left side?
It's the right side.
That is incorrect.
It's on the left side.
That is correct. Number 13, how many sides are there on a standard pencil?
4.
That is incorrect.
8.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer is 6.
Okay, I was closer.
Number 14, sleepy, happy, sneezy, grumpy, dopey, doc. Who's missing?
Drake.
That is incorrect.
Can you repeat the question again?
Sleepy, happy, sneezy, grumpy, dopey, Doc. Who's missing?
I don't know, to be honest. I know what these characters are from, I just don't know them all.
The correct answer is Bashful.
Oh.
Never heard of him in my life. He must be the outcast of all the dwarfs.
Quite possibly. Number 15. On which playing card is the card maker's trademark?
The first one.
That is incorrect.
The second one.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer is ace.
What?
Number 16.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh.
Number 16. On which side of a Venetian blind is the cord that adjusts the opening between the slats?
The left side.
That is correct. Number 17. On the back of a dollar bill, what is in the center?
The Illuminati.
The one.
That is correct. Number 18. There are 12 buttons on a touch-tone phone. What two symbols bear no digits?
That's me. That's the asterisk and the pound symbol.
There is a third. Oh, that is correct, actually.
Oh, okay.
My mistake.
Wait, okay.
Number 19. How many curves are in a standard paper clip?
Three.
That is correct. Number 20.
Ooh.
Does a merry-go-round turn clockwise or counterclockwise?
Wait, I got that point. Not him. What?
Wait, okay, say that again.
Does a merry-go-round turn clockwise or counterclockwise?
Okay, we have technical issues. Give us a second.
Yep.
All right.
How about this? Say it one more time.
Yeah, say it again.
Just say it one more time.
The final question. Does a merry-go-round turn clockwise or counterclockwise?
It turns clockwise.
That is incorrect.
Counterclockwise then.
That is the correct answer.
She blurted the answer out. I still get the point. It was a good game. Handshake.
All right.
Handshake.
That's all the questions, and our morning show trivia challenge winner is Lewis. Congratulations.
Good game, Lewis.
Good game indeed, Marley.
Well, that does it for this edition of The Morning Show.
For the best TV of all, each and every day, keep it tuned right here on New Hanover County Schools Television on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Have a great day.
And a wonderful week.